Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Of course, I am Sylphin. I'm taking a look at Bless Online. That is exactly what you guys have seen right here, the opening trailer for it. It looks really good. You guys are seeing some cinematic gameplay, but it's a very apparently developed MMO that's been in the works for quite some time. It's a massively multiplayer online game developed with the Unreal 4 engine, which of course we all know from Paragon is has some pretty serious potential, and it looks gorgeous. It's not even in open beta yet. There's been some play tests, and clearly the trailers and the other gameplay that is out there paints a very bright picture, in my opinion. Obviously, their vision is there with a very clear idea that has still been evolving. The combat system has apparently undergone pretty much an overhaul from very static, sort of normal, you know, tab, click some buttons and do stuff, to actually a combo system, which certain key skills that you use combo into others that develop in intensity and in function with some other group of skills that you can play with and aren't combo oriented. So there's a lot that looks really good, and of course there are other classes in there. There's 5 going to be coming out when it releases this month sometime, or at least they're going to be making a statement about it. So with that statement, they'll likely say when, you know, they're actually going to release it into kind of an open early access sort of a deal. And one of the classes is the mage, typical spellcaster, and you can actually see right over there, obviously, the combo system that is in there. The first 3 skills on the bottom are what combo up, and then you see 4, 5, 6, and 7 are just being other skills that don't combo, that you can obviously play around with. UI evolves in any MMO, in any game. UI evolves into other iterations, make it more clear, more fitting to the vision. And I think, to be honest with you, that's exactly what's going to happen. The UI to me looks a bit juvenile, if you know what I mean. A little, just not very polished, not very stylized, I suppose would be a good way to put it. And that will definitely improve, I think, as time goes on. The movement, character movement, is something I noticed right away, in that there isn't any acceleration in the movement. So there's no acceleration, meaning you don't start from, you know, you're not moving to slowly speed up to your final maximum movement speed. I believe there's a little bit of that in other MMOs, but at least in Bless here, with such high fidelity, with such of that sort of realism in there, that actually strikes out to me as something I would maybe like to see. Just a bit of movement acceleration to make it kind of feel a little bit more real. You know, with such this fidelity and the style and sort of the whole scheme, artistic scheme, I actually think that would be actually quite appropriate. The next class here is, of course, the Guardian, which is your tank. Your melee, brawler, tank. It's pretty simple. Again, the nice combo system here going on. 1 through 3 of those abilities combos into other abilities, and then 4, 5, 6, 7 is still there. You have your health bar, you have your energy, or I actually forget what it's called, right below that, and then right beside that, we have some other info. We also have the Berserker. pretty much going to be your melee DPS, it looks like, with other types of survivability. I'm sure going to be there in dealing with blood and stuff like that, and regeneration. So one other thing is that it's true open world. World of Warcraft, there are, you know, instances you have to phase into, loading screens between things. As far as I know, Bless Online is a true open world. Literally everything. There's no loading in. Obviously when you start the game, you have to load in. But other than that, as far as I know, it is open world. The PvP is also very, very, very different, at least in a couple ways. One, there's 2 factions, which Horde and Alliance, at least on WoW, I mean, that doesn't change too much, but it's free open world PvP on at least every single server. It's all open PvP. However, I have heard that as part of the store, as part of the stuff that you can buy, you can actually buy something with either in-game currency that you change into real world currency. You can buy something that removes that PvP availability to you. So that is obviously very nice. I'm not too crazy about PvP, but boy, at least in this game, it looks really good. And it looks like a lot of fun with those combo systems. So, hey, I would like to give that a try. The next class here that you're seeing behind me is, of course, the Paladin, which in Bless, looks like sort of a melee healer. Obviously, melee attack range, but depending on the skills and what the heals are, I have seen in other footage that it's also ranged. So, the Beacon of Healing, that's your Paladin. That is the first healing class. I believe there's also a class coming out later on. There's only 5 that is coming out in early access. There are 7 apparently. An Assassin and maybe a Mystic. And the Mystic is another kind of spellcaster that is also a healer. I think something like that. Coming out in the future. Very, very flashy, very shiny. I'm gonna personally love playing a Paladin. I'm gonna like playing a lot of things. And again, look, the combo system feels very, 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 very fun. The camera, at least for me, a little bit too close, but as you can see, just there, you can also you can also move it around. Some of the action, some of the movement, again, just the finessing of all of the sort of animations, finessing that into more refined, maybe a little bit of a, not slower, but at least just more fluent nature would absolutely pull me into Bless even more. And the next class, of course, is the Ranger, your ranged DPS. Apart from the ranged DPS of the Mage. So, normal bowcaster. I'm sure that there's going to be some other items out there, maybe, that just change that up to a crossbow, or maybe some rifles. I don't know if that's going to be a thing, but as you can see, there are other combo systems as well, you know, for this class. And I do believe it is a tab targeting system, but with these ranged classes, it does very much feel almost like a, you know, like a third-person shooter. Almost. And as you can see, I think it's automatically targeting units that are in front of each other because of the projectile system. I don't know. But Ranger looks a lot of fun. As for each of the different races and the classes that they can be, essentially it's kind of mirrored on both of the factions. Both factions have a human race. They're both humans, but just human factions. Both have an elf sort of race, and both have this kind of cat. Yeah, this cat race thing that, you know, one is more human-like kind of and more, and then the other one is a little more sleek, or that's just what the male and females look like. And then there's this kind of 4th, but kind of 7th, kind of however you want to look at it, race of cute little panda people. That's the best way to put it. Little cute panda bear people. That is a neutral race that you can choose which faction you want to go for. In the background here is what you're looking at is part of the Paladin in group play. Looks pretty darn good. Honestly, looks really darn good. We're not even in early access, and this is what everything looks like. This is what everything is playing like, at least what it looks like. I mean, it has a very, very bright future, no pun intended, as Paladin's going all Anduin on his party. So, guys, it looks really good. You know, since Paragon has gone, I'm looking for something. I've fallen back on World of Warcraft. I have explored Warframe. I've explored Smite. There's something out there, and you know what? Just trying to find it. So that is Bless Online. That's not everything we know about. There's much more stuff that maybe I will delve into in another video. But if you guys are looking forward to Bless Online and what it has, hit that subscribe button.